All right, welcome everyone. Tonight, under the lights at the iconic Newlands in Cape Town, we've got a T20 showdown that, well, on paper, it looks like a total mismatch. So we're going to break down the tactical battle between the high-flying MI Cape Town and the struggling Pretoria Capitals to see if a massive upset is actually on the cards.
And yeah, you got to ask this question right off the bat. When you look at the team sheets, you look at the recent form, the sheer talent, this feels like it could be the biggest mismatch of the tournament. But hey, this is T20 cricket, right? It's the one format where the script gets thrown out the window and underdogs always find a way to bite back.
So, first things first, let's meet the Goliath of this matchup. Because MI Cape Town aren't just the favorites here, they're an absolute juggernaut. And when you really dig into their squad, you start to see the huge scale of the challenge that Pretoria is facing tonight.
Okay, so the foundation of MI's dominance? It all starts with their batting. You've got an incredibly stable and experienced top three with Rashid, Hendricks, and Rickelton setting the whole thing up. Then, just when the bowlers think they can relax, you unleash the X factor, Nicholas Poran, a guy who can just dismantle any attack, pace or spin. But the real secret weapon, it's that batting depth. It goes all the way down to number 8. That gives the top order a license to attack without fear, knowing they have tons of cover. It's the perfect mix of stability and pure firepower.
And this chart really puts it all into perspective. We're not just talking about a small gap in batting depth here. It's a massive chasm. MI's resources run so deep that losing a couple of early wickets doesn't even derail them. For the Capitals, though, their lineup feels way more brittle. That's a huge strategic advantage for Cape Town before a single ball is even bowled.
But you know, for all that incredible batting firepower, their single biggest weapon, the one player who can literally turn a match on its head all by himself, it's someone else entirely.
Of course, it's Rashid Khan. Come on. He's so much more than just a world-class spinner. The guy is a tactical genius, both with the ball and as a captain. In a T20 game, his 4 overs are like a mini-match all on their own. He can slam the brakes on momentum, snatch key wickets, and just completely control the middle of an innings. He isn't just a player. He is a strategic weapon.
And MI's dominance doesn't stop with their batting. I mean, just look across the board here. They've got incredible flexibility from their all-rounders. Their team is packed with elite athletes in the field, and they've already proven they can chase down huge scores under pressure. On pretty much every single metric, they've got the edge.
So that brings us to the underdog, the David in this story. The Pretoria Capitals are facing a monumental task, and to really get why, we need to look at the specific vulnerabilities that have been holding them back all season.
And their main problems, well, they're pretty clear to see. There's a huge dependency on their openers, Will Smeed and Shai Hope, to get them a fast start. After that, the middle order has been really inconsistent, and the batting depth, well, it just isn't there. And to make it all worse, team confidence is low after a tough string of losses.
This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of their problem. T20 games are won with partnerships, not just flashy little cameos. For the Capitals, the real issue has been these collapses. One wicket falls, and suddenly it's followed by 2 or 3 more, creating this immense pressure that a deep team like MI just doesn't have to deal with. That is a recipe for disaster in a match like this. All right, but we all know games aren't won on paper, right? They're won in those key moments, those individual battles. So, let's break down the head-to-head duels that are going to decide who comes out on top tonight.
The first huge battle happens right at the start, in the power play. And in MI's corner, you've got one of the best new ball bowlers in the entire world, Trent Boult. His ability to swing that ball back into the right-hander and just grab a wicket in his first over, it's legendary.
And his primary target? The one guy he'll be laser-focused on knocking over in those first few overs is Pretoria's most dangerous weapon, their explosive opener, Will Smeed. Smeed's entire job is to go on the attack from ball 1. If he can somehow survive Boult and score quickly, he gives Pretoria a real fighting chance. But if Bolts get him early, it could be curtains for them, and fast.
Now, the second critical duel happens in the middle overs. And of course, it features MI's trump card. We've already talked about him, the spin wizard himself, Rashid Khan. Nobody in world cricket controls this phase of the game better than he does.
And his main target is going to be the player Pretoria is counting on to provide the fireworks in those middle overs, their young phenom.
Their young gun, Dewald Brevis. Now, Brevis is a phenomenal talent, no doubt, with unbelievable power, but he can also be inconsistent. For Pretoria to have any hope of posting a big total, he has to take on the world's best spinner and win that battle. It's a massive risk, but the reward could be huge. Okay, so after weighing all the evidence, where do we land on this? Let's get to the final verdict, but maybe more importantly, let's map out that very narrow path that actually exists for an upset.
So yeah, the numbers don't really lie here. Our analysis gives MI Cape Town a 65% chance of winning this game. Their superior depth, their balance, and that massive Rashid Khan factor just make them the heavy, heavy favorites. And you know what? Rightly so.
But wait a minute, a 35% chance is not zero. So is this really a foregone conclusion? Absolutely not. But for Pretoria to pull this off, they can't just play well. They have to execute a very, very specific game plan, and they have to do it perfectly.
And here it is. This is the three-step plan for the perfect upset. Number 1, their new ball bowlers, Ngidi and Mills, absolutely must get the key wickets of Rickelton and Poran early. 2, one of their stars, Smeed or Brevis, has to deliver a truly game-changing, match-winning innings, not just a quick 30. And 3, they have to exploit every single bit of early movement that Newlands pitch offers them. Look, it's a tall order, but if they can tick all 3 of those boxes, they've got a real shot.
Which leaves us with the one final question. Is Goliath simply going to follow the script and cruise to another easy victory, or does David have one last trick up his sleeve? Will the favorite prove their dominance, or is tonight the night the underdog rewrites the entire ending? Now, we get to watch and find out.